also using my right Vishuddhi too much. So on the right Vishuddhi, you have to learn to have mauna, means silence. Those who think, who are very dominating, who are talking in a very dominating manner, whose right Vishuddhi is catching, should become silent and should, at least for some time, should not talk at all. Maybe you might fix one day, say you can do it on say, I'll not talk on Monday. But supposing Monday you have to work, so you should say, I'll not talk on Sunday. But human beings are such that if they decide they will not talk on Sunday, then Sunday they'll talk the most. And this shouting and then intimidating people, you have no right. You have no business to shout at anyone whatsoever. What is the need to shout? After all, you are a human being, another one is a human being. God has not given any word, whether it is a husband, wife, children or anyone. But I find these days even children shout, the mother shouts, the father shouts. If you go in the house, you feel like running back because you will hear nothing but shouts. So this kind of a family system will rock, completely finish that family, and there will be no beautiful relationship between each other and between the other people. Sometimes you can say the whole country is having nothing but shouting at one and shouting at another. All over you go, you find nothing but shouting. Even if you take your car a little bit this side, there will be a shouting. For the slightest excuse, they start shouting and spoiling their right Vishuddhi. Now, for politicians, they think it's the best way to shout, because they can really impress people by their shouts. So they shout a lot, tell people this, that. When they speak, you should hear there's no sweetness in their tongue, nothing of the kind. But they shout, and by shouting, a person gets frightened. All right, you want the vote, we'll give you, but don't shout. That's how many people get elected and become big and think that they are very successful because they have been shouting. Then they have training for shouting, and they go in for a higher and higher education in shouting. How to shout, how to intimidate people by the loud voices. For Sahajogis, it doesn't behove. Sahajogi has to be a very sweet person. Extremely sweet. Now, when you are thinking of, say, Sri Rama as a person who was the king, and then you have got Sri Krishna who was a diplomat. So what is the divine diplomacy? You don't have to shout, but you change the subject. If you want to bring somebody to some conclusion, then best thing is first to change the subject. And gradually, if you are clever enough, then you go on changing, and you bring it back to the right thing. That's the clever thing to do. Otherwise, just by shouting, if somebody might say, yes, all right, I'll do it. By the time you are gone, he'll say, yeah, I'll do it. That means something else. So, see, he might say yes and yeah any time. So to have a complete rapport with another person is to play with that person. That's what I did also in Russia. I went round and round and round and round and brought him to the point that we have to be very independent thing. And I managed it. That is Sri Krishna style. You see, because to face it, supposing somebody says, oh, this is my idea, I've decided to do this and that and everything, then you should say slowly, all right, now I would say what you are saying is correct. Absolutely correct. I agree with you. And what do you think about the other thing, something like that? And then you should say, now, I can suggest, but I would like to suggest like this. If you can agree to it. See, gradually if you go and talk like this, things can work out. And people will feel really that you have taken time and you have spent that much time and have accepted the proposal and things. And then don't feel bad. So, one has to know that what is the essence of all this diplomacy. Can you tell me? What is the essence of this diplomacy? Is benevolence. You have to achieve the benevolence of the whole humanity. This is the essence of it. If you are doing it, you are not doing for yourself, for your gain, you are not doing for the gain of any particular person, but you are doing it for the benevolence of the whole humanity. So, once you know this is the essence, so what is the need to shout? By shouting, you are not going to achieve anything. So, to play around with it and bring it to that point, which is benevolence, like Krishna was asked that you said that you have to tell the truth, and it has to be also very pleasing. Satyam vadet, priyam vadet. He said, how can it be? These two things cannot be. Supposing you tell the truth, people may not like it, may not please that person. So he said, no, it should be satyam vadet, hitam vadet, priyam vadet. That tell the truth, tell for the benevolence, and tell the pleasing thing. Supposing you tell somebody the truth, he may not like that at that time. Supposing you tell that person, now don't go today by plane. He will not like it. What do you mean? I am going to go. No, please don't go. I request you. Then he finds out that day the plane went and had a crash. So he thinks this was good because for my benevolence this is worked out. So this is something so good. So immediately he feels obliged to you and he thinks we have to have told him the truth by which it was his benevolence and that's why he is pleased. So in the long run, if you talk something for the benevolence of a person, but benevolence of the spirit, then such a person immediately thinks that we have really done such a great obligation on him, that you have saved him. If even you have to tell some lies for the benevolence, it does not matter. It will not have any effect. Because Sri Krishna, which is the deity, knows it. For example, a man is coming to kill somebody and you know where that man is hiding. He comes and asks you, where is that man? Are you supposed to tell him the truth? All right, he's there, go and kill him. No. So what you have to tell? You have to tell him that, see, I am not going to tell you, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Because what he is asking is unauthorized, is anadhikar. He had no business, he has no authority to ask such a question. And he has no authority to extract the answer from you. Whether you give him the answer or not answer is your right. So if you understand that it is not for the benevolence of the man who wants to kill, because tomorrow he will be hanged, and not also for the benevolence of the person whom he is seeking out. So if you do like that, then there is no problem. You will find most of the people will just like you because they will know that you are sincere, very honest, that you want to be benevolent. Now, as you know, I have told all of you everything, whatever I felt like about you. Most of the time, I should say, not all the time, but of course, most of the time. I have to also tell lies a little bit. But whatever